name is Asif.
All right, well, I will be conducting your interview today. You may have a seat.
Sure, thank you.
So, do you have your resume with you?
Well, I just brought it. Oh, yeah. Just wait a second, please. Here you go.
All right, great. Well, I'm interviewing you for the position of process engineering. For this position, you need a bachelor's degree in engineering. We need you to have great leadership, communication skills, and dependable. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I like to play sports, soccer. I like to stay awake late at night. I like to go hang out with my friends. Just go to the restaurants. It's just around the corner, just near to the office. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your strengths.
Oh well, I've got a lot of strengths. I'm a good conversationalist. Whenever I'm in a room, it just the room never gets quiet. So yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your weaknesses.
Weaknesses. I can't think of any. Oh yeah, just I just like to stay awake late at night. I'm more of a night owl. Sure, the early birds they do get the worms, but who cares about worms anyway?
Okay. Well, why would you like to work for our company?
Oh, basically, I just read in the job description, that your company they offer the free iPad, so I figured I'd be able to take a free iPad to my home.
Okay. Well, we do provide technology for our employees, but they're for work use only.
Oh, amazing!
Okay.
Nice.
Well, do you have any other questions? If not, this will conclude our interview.
Well, I was just confused. Do you guys provide the free computers to your employees?
We don't. We only provide technology for our employees at work.
That's sad.
Okay. Well, this will conclude our interview, and we will be in contact with you shortly.
Please do let me know by the end of the week whether you are going to hire me, so that I don't have to keep waiting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Bye-bye.
time.
Bye.
Thank you for being here today. We just witnessed the first candidate interview. We are now going to talk about some of the mistakes that were made during that first interview so that it can be helpful for you when you go on your job interview and streamline it into the good interview. The mistakes that were made were the candidate was not properly dressed. If you're going to go to an interview, please wear business casual or a nice formal attire, either if you're a man or a woman. Didn't shake hands with the interviewer. The candidate walked in and just sat down. Didn't greet the interviewer and didn't shake hands. Please shake the interviewer's hands. Crumpled resume and was not well prepared. Was not prepared, did not talk about the position in regards to how they are going to be beneficial for the position that they were applying for as an engineer. Had a resume that was crumpled, and if you're going to bring a resume, it's fine as long as you have it nicely prepared to give to everyone that will be interviewing you. Personal information wasn't helpful. When we talk about your marketable skills and how you're going to relate to the position you're applying for, you have to have relevant examples. The weakness was not relevant either. Talked about, basically said, I didn't have any weaknesses. There's no areas where I can improve. Focus on the candidate's needs and not the employer's. So what is the employer going to do for me? Not how I'm going to be mutually beneficial and help the employer. For example, the candidate mentioned a free iPad. That the only way that they were interested in this position is if they were going to give a free iPad for personal use. And didn't thank the interviewer, nor did the candidate have good questions to ask the person that was interviewing them. Please have questions prepared to ask for every job you're going to be going on. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Jasmine
My name
Taylor.
is Asif. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'll be conducting your interview today. You may have a seat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have a copy of your resume?
Oh, sure, I do.
Well, I'm interviewing you for the position of process engineer. For this position, we require a bachelor's degree in engineering, someone who's dependable, has great leadership and communication skills. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I was an honor student at the University of Texas at Tyler. I play basketball and soccer. I am a member of an engineering club, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, treasurer of my fraternity, student government vice president.
Great. Well, why is this job for you?
I have a solid background in engineering. I support the environmental efforts of your company to promote the green facilities and would love the opportunity to bring my experience to this organization.
Great experience. All right. Well, what exactly is your background in this field?
Basically, I held 2 engineering internships prior to graduation from the college with my bachelor's degree in engineering. I have also learned valuable leadership skills and industry knowledge from my membership in engineering club and American Society of Mechanical Engineers.
Okay. Well, why should we choose you, and what are your qualifications for the process engineer job?
My qualifications include, but is not limited to, good communication skills, interpersonal skills, and mathematics ability. You should choose me because I will work hard to meet the company goals and not only meet but exceed expectations.
Great. Do you have any references? And
I-
so, what do you think your references will say about you?
Well, I do have my references, and they are my internship supervisor and my engineering professors, and I believe each of them will say that I am a hard worker with good communication and people skills. I always get the job done on time.
Do you have any questions for me?
Well, yes, your company has such a good reputation as an engineering industry leader. So I thought perhaps I'd ask you if you have any training programs you put your staff through to achieve that?
We do. We initially want all of our candidates to have those leadership skills and all of the great, soft skills and technical skills beforehand. But we will train our staff so that we can ensure success for all.
That's nice to hear that.
Well, if you don't have any more questions for us, this will conclude our interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you for meeting me.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Wow, what a difference seen by our candidate there during the good interview. We're going to talk about some of the pros that took place during that interview and what the candidate did correctly. First, the candidate was dressed professionally, a big difference from the first interview that you've just seen. Second, the handshake took place. It was a good handshake and interaction right when he walked in, and he waited to be seated, and while he was seated, he also showed good posture, smiled and made eye contact. Part of being a good active listener is making eye contact and showing that you are validating and listening to the person you're talking to. Demonstrated he had knowledge of the company. Big difference from the first interview that you've just seen, that you've done the research before you actually went into the interview, which shows that you are prepared and you can ask questions that are directly related to the industry and the position that you are applying for. Had a good question for the interview. Knew that I'm coming here with a goal in mind. It's to get this job, and I need to know these things before I accept a position, because it is a mutual decision. You are interviewing the company just as much as they are interviewing you. Please remember at the end of the interview to shake hands and greet the interviewer with positive interactions. That means shaking hands and saying thank you and exiting appropriately. It's important to shake hands at the end of the interview because you have to close the interview and then remember to follow up after the interview. Thank you for listening to the Interviewing Skills Lab. We hope that you'll get enough practice between now and the upcoming job fairs. On March 22nd, the engineering job fair will take place. On March 23rd, it's going to be the College of Business and Technology Career Fair. That will be followed by, on April 6th, the All Majors Job Fair, and on April 7th, the East Texas Teacher Job Fair. We hope to see you all there. If you have any questions between now and then, please contact Career Services and we would be glad to help you. Thank you.